Hey guys, Rob Stellini here. I'm still baffled as to how to introduce myself. But it is A to Z. It's not Thursday, it's Friday. Sorry for the late upload, but here you go. I've got it here anyway. So today we are talking about you. We're getting dangerously close to the end of the series, um, which sucks. But yeah, before I start, you will either today or tomorrow have seen an announcement from myself. Do pay attention to that because it's a big change for YEOUSCH graphics. But anyway, so we're going to go for Alex Wong Graphics has said underrated and UI. 14 likes. A lot of people said underrated. So let's get started. Underrated is an interesting one. I don't think it's a particularly appropriate term because underrated suggests that people have seen him and like meh, not that good, or like underrated almost sounds a bit like undervalued. And I don't think people are undervalued in the community. I just think they're undiscovered, which is the same you. So with I'm going to talk about undiscovered with what you guys think is underrated. I think underrated is a poor misconception. So yeah, undiscovered. It's really difficult getting oh, even half as big as I am at the moment. I think I'm at 11,500 subscribers. That's really, really difficult to get to now as a designer. As just a pure, flat out designer, it's actually really, really difficult to get that. Most speed arts have been done. Anybody can design a YouTube background. I've said that. What I mean by that, I've had some, not stick for that, but I've had people say that I'm a bit ego driven when it comes to that. I'm not being egotistical. Anybody can design a YouTube background. Anybody can crack Photoshop, open it up, stick a template in, bash some tutorials around, and bosh, you got a background. What I mean is, anybody can do it badly. Not everyone can do it well, and there are a select few that do it very well. People like Mr. Magic, and Rated, people like that are just seriously, seriously talented. I don't want to name any more because I miss out people, and then people start getting upset. Oh God, terrible hiccups. Um, so undiscovered, being undiscovered is really difficult because everything has already been done, or rather, that's what people think. So they just do the same things over again. It's difficult to be discovered when you don't differentiate yourself. And how would you differentiate yourself? You ask. Well, I look at myself and think, if I were in your situation, if I were at 200 subscribers starting my YouTube channel now, I would find it really, really difficult, and I don't know what the solution is. Um, even as a well, I like to think I'm pretty talented. Even as a pretty talented designer, I think I'd find it really tricky to get off because all the bigger YouTubers tend to have their own designers. Mr. YouTuberable, um, um, YouTuber HD, people like that. They all have Mr. Magic. KSI has me. Syndicate has Evan Eckhard. It's the huge, huge ones are really difficult to break into. Um, and especially with YouTube continuing to shaft people with the way that they design the channels. I think it's really difficult to break out as a background designer as I did. But there, I think I'd have to look at just a different discipline, something like web design. Um, there's still a big market for that. People looking at just redesigning stuff like Facebook, and I think that's a pretty interesting portfolio piece, even in the real world. Um, so just the way I've said it to people before. We talked about it, quality and quantity. I think that fewer better videos is better. That's the way I would get through. Is stuff goes viral very easily. It's viral isn't. It's difficult to explain. Viral viral doesn't necessarily mean like 60 million views or Gangnam Style a billion views or something like that. It just means it's got popular quickly within a specific community. Now, within the graphics community, that might be 3,000 views in 2 or 3 days. That would be it going viral or something like that. And lots of different people finding it without you having to send it to them. People enjoying your work and sharing it just off the cuff. I think that's the biggest thing that people need to be able to do is to encourage other people to share stuff, and people don't want to share shit stuff because it shows badly on you. Like if I shared out a video that was just told to share out, and I wasn't massively happy with, and everyone was like, "Mate, that's crap," I'd look bad. I'd look really bad, and people would stop appreciating my opinion. And I think it's important. Like, I've got no problem helping out people that are seriously talented and getting them on the map and trying to do my bit. But you have to be really good, otherwise it devalues my recommendation and doesn't help other people that could be that good, or when you get that good yourself. So I think Undiscovered's an interesting one. It is really difficult. There's no outright solution as to how to get 10,000 subs or getting your videos at 1,000 views every time. But I just focus on the quality of your videos, work hard on them, and you will get there. It's just a matter of time and effort. You have to put the time and the effort in, and if you don't, you won't get it. So yeah, that's Undiscovered, or underrated, as you guys have asked for. And UI, for those of you who don't know, UI stands for user interface. It was a big thing. People did interface design. I think it was predominantly people like Skybricks coined this idea of interface design, of these orbs that glowed, often music players, really awesome stuff. And I don't know, I was never very good at it, so I was kind of skeptical. But actually, it was like, looking back on it, just as non-background pieces, they were pretty damn awesome. So I don't know, I'd love to see that come back. But as user interface in a non-YouTube sense, everything you look at has its user interface. How a user goes about interacting with whatever you've designed. So if it's like right now, the things on my screen, I'm staring at Skype, I'm chatting to Jake Howden, I'm looking at my inbox on my emails, I have a Finder window open, so I've got all my files open, and Spotify, and Audio Hijack to record this. Just looking at the Spotify one, it's pretty easy to navigate, it's pretty easy to use, it's simple, it's not in your face, it's relatively redacted, but it's still really, really good. It's really quite easy to use. And I think, talking about designing web stuff, from a web design point of view, we always talk about UX, which is user experience. And user interface is an element for user experience. How buttons look, whether something looks like a button. I'm looking at Spotify right now, and there's something that says no favourites, add people for quicker access, and then there's a button that says show people. Straight away, I know I could click that button. That's user interface. That's me knowing that's a button. It looks like a button. I know it's a button. Imagine if I click it, it will give me people to add. And if I scroll, like the big play button, I know that does play, and it's playing Stushi. Why is it playing Stushi? No, no. I don't want that at all. So yeah, user interface is a different one to talk about, because it's something that just exists. You can be a user interface designer. You can be a user experience designer. User interface designers tend to design buttons and general, not themes. Themes is a bad word, but stylistic sets for the way things work. So you might have a calendar, or some buttons that look the same, or stuff like that. So that's an interesting user interface one. I prefer the idea of user experience from a web design point of view. I focus quite heavily on my user experience. So I don't know. They're interesting terms, but I'm not sure I can talk about them for too much longer than that. So thanks Alex Wong Graphics for suggesting underrated, which I've covered as undiscovered, and user interface, and a little smiley face. That made my day. So cheers Alex Wong Graphics. Next week, STUV. What the flip am I going to do for V? I'm trying to moderate my language. What am I going to do for V? It's good because I don't have to decide. You guys do. Post in the comments what you want to see for V next week. I hope you enjoyed what I had for you. As always, put what you would have had for you. Like each other's comments so you guys can see exactly so I can see exactly what you guys want to hear about. And yeah, just a quick note on what you were watching. It was my first attempt at sort of drawn typography. I don't know, it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it. The original sketch was better. This was me putting it through a digital push. I wasn't mad about how it turned out, but maybe I'll do some more in the future. I'm not sure. It wasn't perfect. The scan wasn't great, which didn't help me in the first place. I probably should have gone in and redone it, but no biggie. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's not my best piece, but it was a trial. It was the first one I'd ever done, so I always think they're quite interesting to look back at as pieces of work. So I hope you guys enjoyed you, as always. I'll see you next week. Look out for the announcement. It may already even have gone live. I'm not sure what day. But yeah, have a fantastic Saturday. If you're Italian, I hope that we win the Six Nations game against Wales. If you're Welsh, enjoy the victory against us. And generally have a fantastic weekend. I've been Rob Stellini. That's what I say, all panics. I'm not all panics. Goodbye.